What's good with YouTube? Y'all already know Big Flocka with the conflicts perspective, and I'm smashing, dashing, sliding on through with a whole lot of energy, man. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel. And hit that bell notification for future fire content. Once again, man, this is one that I've had been sitting on for a while. A couple months ago, I got this one from Scrappy, and it's in regard to how the NUESTRA COSA established Salinas Valley, one of the yards for them as a home, and the conflicts that they had with two fivers, why they were there at Salinas Valley and establishing it as a Nuestra Cosa establishment. Like I said before, I don't have no horse in the race. Whether someone's a Zapatista, two fiver, rider, Nuestra Cosa, I let people come on here and tell their truth, and that's all I can do is let them tell their truth and provide some of the documents that they provide and put that in the video. But other than that, man, I'm just letting them tell their truth. With that said, enjoy the video.
Yo, what's good, Flocks? Man, how you doing, man? Shoot, just kicking it, man. It's right here. Another one like the other one, you always know. But yeah, bro. Well, you had said what had happened in Salinas Valley. Well, we had started our beef here in 2013 with the little 2-5 gang, mass recruiting, just pretty much a group that accepts anybody. And they recruit a lot of individuals who were dope fiends and didn't want to pay their bills, and they act hostile, but individually they ain't. So they try to hold the NR's money because at that time I was NR and Northern Rider, and they owed us a considerable amount of money, and we went off on them and made the news right here. We hit 6 of them, and the story, man. Dude's insides came out, another dude lost part of his tongue and whatnot, bro. That's another story. But okay, that led me up to the Salinas Valley. Well, I go to the shoot for that in Corcoran, come out to Corcoran yard, and we had 3 attempted murders on 2 fibers in that yard, and they didn't respond. They usually don't. And I ended up getting shipped to Salinas Valley, which at the time was in questionable standings with Snoop at the time, old back ass. And they were on pretty much on bad terms with him because they weren't allegedly kicking it off or whatnot, but they were making money and doing their thing, and Snoop kind of wanted to see like some bloodshed there. I don't know what he wanted, but dude, these dudes are doing their thing and they're kicking it, and there's no reason for hostility on that yard when everybody's functioning, everybody's making money, everybody's living lavishly there. And so I get there, I remember me and Tiny and Squally, we were already had a little group of homies were already questioning everything about disciples and what was going on within the Rider Nation, and we were like, look, man, I got over there and I let everybody know what it was, and they're already like, look, bro, we don't want to hear about Snoop, bro, we don't care about that individual. This individual's trying to change the name, castrate our name. We already had that name for 15 years already, and now he wants to castrate it to just riders to appease people from down south. Like Northern Riders is just what the identity was. We had always recruited Southsiders, Bulldogs, and whatnot. So it really didn't need to be changed. But that was a very small part of it. But he had already pissed everybody off in Salinas because he pretty much saying they weren't smashing, they weren't emulating a certain lifestyle and picking up weapons, which Snoop has never done. He's never picked up a weapon, done nothing like that. And dare him to even try to show us paperwork on that, because he just don't do that. But like I said, man, I get there and it's cool, man. The 2 fibers there, they look, bro, we're not tripping what happened in Kern Valley. You guys massacred our homies there, but you know what? They had it coming. They didn't want to pay you guys, and you guys did what you're supposed to do. Now they're like, you scrap, we have no beef with you, but if you go back to Kern Valley and the homies are there, they're gonna want to bloodlet. And like, bro, I get that, it is what it is. I go back, go to Hatchby, I go back, when we do what we do. So the ones there, they pretty much, they were like, we don't want a part of it. We're not gonna push an issue. We're not gonna push a line on that because that didn't happen here. So that's how it stood. And they pretty much had said, anybody coming to this yard, anybody comes to this yard from another institution that wants to get at you or any of your boys for massacring any two fibers anywhere else, we're gonna knock them down if they don't want to stand down on that agenda where they're gonna try to retaliate. And that's how I was understanding for years, and it went on for a while like that. We had a good relationship with them. They were cool. They did their thing. We did ours. And we were never the type to, though. This is a common courtesy to, hey, let them know, hey, we're gonna do something. Tell your homies to stay over here. We never used to let the individuals know that, but they would do that to us. They would tell us, hey, we're going to handle it on our own. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And we had this understanding for years. I got there Cinco de Mayo 2015, and me and Snoop already had our beef, and it was at that time it was more of a thing to, it was like homies were like, look, that's between you guys. You guys were from the original set of compadres, and that's between y'all. I guess he had his little disciples who said they were going to do this or that. But a couple of them did show up to Salinas Valley within that time, and they didn't do a damn thing. They just said, look, bro, that's what Snoop was saying. We're not saying that, bro. You ain't done nothing wrong, bro. Had you did something wrong, then, it is what it is. But, that was the climate of the yard. Like, nobody there was going to do anything. Just like you see these individuals, like, that he tries to deem all bad these days for, speaking out and whatnot and trying to deem, like, whole towns and whole, yards because individuals are there. That's it all started at, like, I was one of the first yards where it started on. Because I got there and he was on some jealous tip to where he felt I was still in the shine or, whatever he felt that was going on. And I don't care. I don't care about no shine. I don't care about being no leader. I barely take care of myself. I don't care about none of that. I just emulate what I know and what I do. And so in doing that, trying to have people come and do this or that to me, it never worked out for them. Everybody came to the yard was like, look, bro, like, we got nothing but love for you, bro. Like, we're going to stay right here and do our program, bro. Forget what that dude's saying because his whole spill is inconsistent. So that was the thing. That just became the climate of the yard where people would come and I'd be like, look, bro, we could take this in the middle of the field, bro. Like, here, you could have a piece. I got my piece, bro. It's supposed to be built the same. We're doing what we got to do. And they're like, no, we're just going to chill, bro. This is one of the most solid rider yards I've ever seen. So within that, that's where all that jumped off. And Snoop had deemed that yard bad. I don't know how you can deem a yard bad, but that's kind of the stuff we pushed away from the NF. And he deemed the yard bad because I was there. And then he tried to send my homie Gangster Goon on a mission, lying to him that he didn't know me and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I got validated with, bro. Like, what is he talking about? We were sellers in the county jail. And the homie, he sees the paperwork that I have on all that. I didn't even know this dude was saying this. And, I'm just sharing the paperwork with a new homie that arrived. And, this is who I am with just common courtesy. Look, this is who I am and where I've been. And, and I see his paperwork. And he's like, hey, bro, these fools told me to come and do whoop-de-wop, bro. And they try to say they don't know you and this and that. You just been lying, bro. Like, man, I've been lied to, bro. These fools try to have me come over here and put me on a bunk mission, bro. Like, they swore they never met you. They swore this and that. Like, it was just all smoke and mirrors, just gameplay, just to try to have something done that, they couldn't do themselves. He wasn't sending none of his real hitters over there. Nah, he was sending, individuals he barely knew and say, hey, see what they do, see what happened. People that he felt were expendable, which is wrong on all levels. Send one of your hitters then, bro. I mean, somebody that's dedicated to you, it'll be what it is. Because this is the thing people don't understand. Like, for 6 years, we held down Salinas Valley. There are thousands of 2-fibers. There are a couple hundred Northern Riders on level 4s. And over like 2,000-3,000 2-fibers. How don't any of them go to Salinas Valley? Why don't any of them have any establishment? They outnumber us by a lot. There's only less than 30 of us. Yet somehow they don't hit that yard. Somehow when they do, they end up in the hole in the R&R, or they end up, taking off on somebody who's not affiliated and claiming it was an NC. And, you don't know who we are. We're not out there telling you who we are. Just like when you were active, not every carnal is gonna let you know who he is off the bat. A lot of times, like, when I was active, some would come and show up and pretend to be, less than. And then once they observed and, figured out, okay, this is where this yard is lacking or whatnot, or this, this oil, then they would reveal themselves. So, we picked up a lot of game, doing all that, and just being on the low. Why be out there like that? So, like I said, the peace with the 2 fibers in that yard went on for a minute. It went on for a while because, this thing that happened in Kern Valley wasn't to start a war with 2 fibers. It was because 2 fibers owed us, and they got slaughtered at that time. Like I said, I'm providing the paperwork. You have it, Flaco. We have that incident. I'm going to tell you. I'll give you some of the papers on that, pictures of weapons. Okay, so it's 2017, and I get out the hole, and two 2-fibers pull up. Well, mind you, almost all the 2-fibers that were there prior for the years that I was there before, the 2 years, they left. They left, so we didn't have that open line of communication like we used to. So yeah, these 2 individuals pull up, and they said that they were there for Snoop, a rider commissioned them to come and hit me. That I was a target, and Snoop's, I guess, spun it to where, hey, this fool slaughtered your homies. He was behind that whole incident. He's the one that sponsored it, and he stabbed 3 of your homies himself, almost killing 2, and with the whoop, and the rider's back here play. So they came, and so we get at the 2 fibers like, hey, look, homie, we can't get to these fools yet. Because they're on a different tier, but we need to whack these fools. And the 2 fibers are like, okay, bro, we gonna do it. So, we wait. I just came out the hole, so I don't have wiggle room like I used to. I'm on the top tier, and these dudes are on the bottom. So I'm like, look, I want to be out there. And it was like, I don't know, these dudes are like slapsticks, man. They weren't even built like that. They were like, I don't know. I think they, in their minds, they thought they were committed to whatever they were gonna do. But yeah, it didn't work out like that. So I think it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday because it was Catholic church, and I was trying to go out there to the bottom tier yard because that's where they were at. And all the viejos and the compas that were at the time, the NC was still, virtually undercover at that time, posing as Northland riders. And so, I'm trying to come out, and the cop on the tower was like, look, man, you just came out the hole. You're not on the list for Catholic Church no more. I'm like, look, man, let me at least go up there and sign up. And he was like, nah, man, I can't let you out there. He was like, you're A2B until you get a job, and you can't go to yard today because, it's bottom tier. So I was like, man, I had to be out in the afternoon. So I didn't know what was going on. So I guess while in the yard, the 2 fibers that were supposed to handle their own people and not allow us to touch their people, they were like, look, man, we're just gonna stay out of it. These guys shouldn't have been sent by any other group, and boasting another group's name that they're gonna do this or that to you. So basically they backed out. They backed out and said, look, we're gonna go to the other side of the yard, and you guys do what you guys do to these fools. We're not considering them 2 fibers because they don't want to stand down on their push to get scrappy. And they're telling this to the homies, and I'm stuck in the cell because it's bottom tier yard and I'm on the top tier. And yeah, man. So the homies do their thing. They surround dudes, and one of them ran. He didn't even get a chance. He ran. And, he didn't even try to fight back. He just took off and left his homie for dead. And homies caught him, but by the time they caught him, it was already too far away on the other side of the yard. So they ditched their pieces, stomped him out. Now the other guy, mind you, yeah, he got the blues, man. He got hit over 20-something times, and he defecated all over himself and was screaming help and all this, pretty messed up because yeah, when the homies took off on him, he was trying to backpedal, and there was a non-affiliate the homie from Song from Cold Blooded Gangsters, and he tripped old boy, because like I said, a lot of Northern riders are homies, they're Northerners, and we still got a lot of good ties and love and bond with our Northern people. So nobody likes these 2-5ers. They're bullies. They're 10-on-1 people doing all kinds of shady stuff, trying to tax cats and all that. Things they couldn't do on the line. And they need to do it as a whole, as a group, to do these these various acts that piss off the the SNY community. And he gets tripped, and people are just digging him out, man, digging him out. He defecates everywhere, whatnot, and he gets life flighted, and that was it. And we set the tone right there, like, look, anybody coming over here with that hostility towards me, towards any compadre, any viejo one that you're, this is what's gonna happen. And the 2-5ers are just gonna let it happen there. So we're like, okay, we pretty much have our way here, but we're not bullies. We're not gonna flex it like that. So, flash forward a few months, around July. This is 2017. In July 2017, an incident transpires where one of our homies, who was actually an NC at the time, and he was held up with a 2-5er. But like I said, there was no war there. And old boy was going to get stripped. He no longer wanted to participate in their program and whatnot. And we felt that, hey, they can do what the hell they want. That's their homie, But his celly, being one of the original NCs, was like, nah, I got this food back, and whoopty wop. And we're like, look, bro, like, it's just a stripping. They gonna beat dude up, do what they gotta do. He stripped so many people before. He sliced up like 5-6 dudes in the 2-5, who needed to be stripped. It's his turn now. He's just gonna get some hands put on him. So yeah, man, our homie, he didn't want to back down, bro. We're like, look, bro, nah, hell nah. We told dude, look, if you really want to get out, you get stripped, bro, and you think these dudes are gonna bang you out, here's a piece. Go attack your homies, bro. Do what you gotta do. The individual kind of didn't want to do it. We're like, bro, you are allowing our homie to back you, bro. Like, that's not cool, bro. Like, you should just handle your business. So, like I said, man, long story short, man, I ain't trying to make this too long, man, but let's be brief on this. The day came and he was supposed to get stripped. I had talked to his homies the night before, and they were like, look, we're gonna 2-on-1 them. We're gonna 2-on-1 this dude, but we're just gonna go ahead and let another homie just 1-on-1 with this dude right there by the gym in the cuts, so they'll get away with it in the blinds. And that should appease everybody, which was cool. But this dude didn't want to give up his weapon. We're like, look, bro, like, we took the weapon from him, like, look, bro, go get your ass whooped, bro. Like, that's it. Go get your ass whooped, bro. That's it. Why you acting like this? Like, it's nothing, bro. Everybody gets their ass whooped once in a while, man. Like, go ahead and just knuckle up. So what ended up happening is we strip old boy of his weapons and tell him, look, bro, you gonna stand down and all that, bro. You ain't gonna blast these dudes and get my homie involved, because he's very loyal to you, and they go back a long way. They're both older gentlemen, and so that was that. Even the homie, the OG, was like, bro, like, yeah, just go up and get that fade, bro. Like, you get knocked out, bro. Like, it's all good. But homie didn't want to do all that, so him and another individual, an ex-2-5er, they're seemingly going to where they're supposed to have that little fight, that little fade. And, they passed by the tables where the 2-5ers were at. There were 6 of them out there at the time. And they were like, we didn't hear what they said or whatnot, but we just seen the bigger individual, Morocco, who was like, I don't know, he's one of the ones that started the Reapers clique within the 2-5. And, he started taking off on this dude. He started taking off on the individual, and his homie turns around and starts taking off on a northerner who's actually that dude's cousin. They're both from the Bay Area, and we're like, whoa, like, these dudes just took off on a northerner, and that just ended it right there. all hell broke loose. I dug up my piece. I had a piece that came from like the crank of the chairs, the bottom of a chair, and everybody just dug up and or either had all their pieces on them, and it was a massacre, man. It was a massacre, man. I ended up hitting that dude Morocco in the back. One of the homies, one of the viejos actually had the dude by the neck and was stabbing him on the neck and the throat, and he had his back exposed. I came right behind him, and I buried that thing, and it came out of his chest. And came from the back, and bam, it just came out of his chest, and you just hear that fool like take a breath, like oh, like fucking, like he was he took the wind from him, and I just kept digging in on that fool, and yeah, that was the thing though. It was like, man, all hell broke loose, man. All the homies say that. I said, yeah, it's kill. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes, even though you win a war and you see the carnage, and it was bad, man. Like, I don't even have to go in detail about this incident, man. It's all on paper. I provided it. I'm providing you with the pictures, the aftermath, for lifeless two fibers right there, This one made the news as well, and yeah, man, like I said, everything's self-explanatory, and this is what set the tone around the state, like, I went to Donovan, banged it out, did the same thing, homies went to the Hashby, banged fools out over there, like, it's all on paper, bro. Like, you can have people speak and run their mouth and try to act like they're hard, but, all the paperwork speaks for itself. People say that they, and what was crazy, man, is after that incident, there was like every Latino from up north that was going to Tehachapi from Salinas Valley was being, they were being victimized, man. These dudes had nothing to do with the NC, had nothing to do with none of that. And, it's just sad, man, because we'd be in the hole right here, too, in Kern Valley. After I had blasted those three rider dudes in that little incident, and my homie Gangster Goon was right here. He's still right here, man. He whacked up some dude tried to hit him on the patio, and, the homie turned around, cut him from ear to ear. The dude ran, like I said, it's all on paper, bro. But, like, I don't know, we were in the hole right here, and these fools are tripping, because Gangster Goon had also, he did some legendary type thing, he had come out of his cuffs, going on a transport with 425ers, he ended up stabbing, an officer, who accidentally got in the way, and he stabbed the 25er that was standing next to him, and, the homie had come out of his cuffs, and, he ran to the back of the van, and jumped in the back of the van with the 325ers and started stabbing him. He had like a 13-inch ice pick made out of the sprinkler system in the headsets. And, we were all back in the hole, just chilling, man. There was a homie at the time who had, come out and whacked 325ers and whacked 2 riders. And these individuals are like, I don't know, the 225ers are like, anybody who talks to us, they're like, oh, they're going to victimize them because they can't trust them. And so basically, don't talk to us, or we're gonna jump on you type thing. Like, I don't know, trying to dictate stuff, but they try to do that to a couple of whites. The whites came out like, look, bro, we talk to you what the hell we want to, bro. Like, you ain't gonna tell us shit. And, but they play these little games like that. And after the homie Monster had him and an ally of ours had taken out a 25er allegedly in New Folsom. When I was in the shoot, they were like, we can't talk to you no more. Something happened. We're gonna pay you what we owe you, but because I was doing business with them, and they were like, but this is in 2019. They were like, but we can't talk to you no more. I don't know. There was on some patty cake stuff, but yeah, man, these are little incidents that spawned some of the incidents that spawned the wars, and the one I'm talking about in Salinas, the one I'm talking about here in Kern, the one I'm talking about that I mentioned before in Donovan. Those all made the news, man, and you can look them up and by dates or whatnot. But Flock, man, I appreciate your time, man, and just wanted to let you know a little, how everything started and whatnot. And like I said, to this day, still no 25ers, still no riders in Salinas Valley since 2017. We have not permitted them to hit the yard, and as soon as they get there, they just roll it up. If they do hit the yard, like I said, they'll pick a victim, some nobody, and they say, hey, I got off when I got there. But those are large enough groups where they could send a force almost equal our size. But it's just the level of commitment and damage done by individuals, because we don't need a lot of people. We still have the northern mentality. It's 1 on 5, 1 on 4. Like, we got this. You're gonna be all right. It may not be the most spectacular, but you're gonna be all right, and you're gonna come out on top. But yeah, bro. I just like to say, bro, thank you for me the time, man. And I know I've done a gang of interviews for you, man, that you got loaded, man. And hopefully, one day you can release these. But I send my love, brother, and blessings to you and all your viewers, bro. Thank you.